Hi everyone, it's Dee, the face behind Family Friendly Wicca. I tried to do the video once already, but I messed up and didn't actually hit record, so I was talking to my computer screen. Okay, so this video, I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet. It's I've had a few questions about people who are just beginning on the path to Wicca, and others who want to branch off from Wicca and do witchcraft as well. Because remember, a lot of witches consider themselves Wiccans, but not everyone does, and vice versa. Not all witches are going to be Wiccan. So, that being said, once you start doing your online research or reading books, you'll come across a lot of things that say you need certain items in order to do specific things. No, you don't. I personally, when I first started out, I was like, oh my god, how am I going to do all this stuff? Because the list of things that they say you need is pretty big. And when I first started on the path to Wicca, I was 14. So I didn't have any money. I didn't have a job. I was too young to work. And I couldn't go to my parents and be like, hey, mom and dad, can I have this list of stuff so I can do rituals? They would have lost their ever-loving minds. So after that, I was a college student. And again, everyone in college knows you're broke. After that, I was a single mom. Again, not a whole lot of money and also not a whole lot of time. So over the years of looking at these lists, like they say you need, I might be mispronouncing this, so I'm sorry, an athame, which is a knife, or a dagger, whatever you want to call it. You need a besom or besom, which is just a fancy broom. You need certain color candles, you need incense, you need statues to represent different things, the gods, the goddesses, you need herbs. No, you don't. I have never used them, and every time I have done a ritual of any kind, it's always worked. Because, and you'll hear me repeat this a lot, and it gets kind of redundant, but it's all about your intent. If your intent and your focus is there, whatever you're putting out will work. Keep in mind, though, it won't always be instantaneous. I've had things work within the same day, which has been awesome. I love it when that happens. But I've had things work a week later, a month later, sometimes almost a year later. Because once you put the intent out there, it's up to basically the energies of the world to kind of put those things in motion and help it out, give it a boost, if you will. So another thing is a wand. I've never used a wand. I have one because it's pretty and I like it. It kind of sits up on a shelf because it looks nice. I use my hands because, again, it's all about intent. So when they say use your athame or use your wand to draw this or point to this, I just use my hands because I find if I can visualize the energy coming out of myself, it's a lot better because it makes it more personal to me instead of using objects to kind of do the work for me. And as for the colored candles, think about it this way. For thousands and thousands of years, they didn't have colored candles. Those only came about in the last, century and a half, maybe 200 years if you were rich. They had tallow candles and they had beeswax candles. Beeswax candles kind of have an orangey tinge, but that's because it's beeswax. But that's what they used, so that's what I use. And I don't even use actual candles a lot of the time because I have 2 little kids and you don't want them to get burned. So I use the little LED candles, especially when my son wants to join in on something. That way I know nothing's going to catch on fire and nobody's going to get hurt because we are not graceful. Sometimes when I'm outside, I'll use the little round tea candles or tea lights, and they're just plain old white. And I know a lot of people will take like a pin and kind of inscribe a symbol on them. I've done that sometimes too, just to kind of help keep myself focused. But again, for myself, I don't need all of those things. Like for when you're doing a ritual, you're supposed to do it inside a circle so you have that protection. Now, what I do, when I first started out, I would actually draw the circle so I had that visual reminder of that's where it is. And then as I started getting more experience and as the years went on, now what I do is I visualize the circle and I give myself enough room to walk around because you don't want to just be sitting in one spot, especially if you're doing a long ritual. You're going to get cramped up and uncomfortable and you're going to lose your focus. So I make it big, and what I do is I visualize light. So the ring of light, and then it comes up and goes over me like a dome. And then I visualize it continuing under the ground, so I have a full sphere going around me. Because that's ultimately what you want. You want to protect yourself on all sides from anything negative getting in. And then when you're done, you want to dispel what you've done into the world so that your intent, your focus, and what you've done kind of gets out there. So, yeah, that's it. If you want to use stuff, that's great. And like I said, a lot of beginners want to use it because they need that visual reminder or visual thing to be like, this goes here, this represents that. And as you go on, I find a lot of people have said they stopped using this stuff, especially in ritual, because for me, I don't have the time to set up an altar, take it down, put it away every time. It's too much stuff. It takes too long. For me, I find it takes away from the focus of it when you're trying to set it up. And it can almost get stressful because you see these things where this has to be in a certain spot and this has to go over there and that's got to go up here and you need to do this over this. Like, no. Again, it's your intent and your focus. That's what you need. So if you have any questions, you can either email me. I will put the email in the description, as well as the Facebook page. This video will also be posted onto Facebook, so you can message me there or leave a comment on Facebook. Generally on YouTube, I don't check the comments because I find there's too many of them. So I will see everyone a bit later. Blessed be.